You were just listening to that, huh?
It made me think about it. I was watching the baseball game with my dad. It was in Los Angeles. So, they got that organ playing. It went, I was like, what are the chances of the audience at a baseball game? I mean, they might just because they're in LA, but come on, dog.
Yep. LA, baby. Yo. I'll talk to you in like a minute.
We better get for a minute.
I mean, other than
wasting time. Steady trying to get you back in my life.
say other than like messaging every day, but actually talking is different.
Yeah, because I got Maddie doing. Oh yeah, I had my 3-week break. I was playing. I was on the grind for Tales of Arise.
Yeah, you were.
I beat that game.
No, you
It might be blasphemy, but I'm gonna say that game was not that great.
Oh, all right. Let's get into the fun. Let's just start the episode. So hang on, let me pull this trash bag out. And we just, so it's not like they're like, is this stuff from back in the early 2000s? Look at that. The people that used to make the music off the trash cans and stuff. Wasn't it Stomp?
Yeah, I was thinking about that basketball commercial where they're at the gym. Everyone always talks about that commercial all the time.
Yeah, all right. It's been a minute.
A minute, do I really have a start?
All right, I'm about to start the episode. Yo, welcome to the next episode. The consistent return. I was about to say the return of the TK Funk is like that. Every episode is a return. Anyways, it's your boys TK Hockey and Robin number Trey 15.
Oh, what it do? Hey, there's my flag. I don't even know if I was dating yet or not. Last podcast, so I don't know.
Now he said, if you like it, should put a ring on it. Got one ring on there.
I was gonna say, I was like, partner, trust me, I spent the money on a ring. That money was spent.
Just got one more to go, man. Then you'll be able to keep your love locked down. Love locked down.
I'm gonna be able to. I'm gonna be able to. No,
I don't know that if it's controversial, but that's Kanye's best album.
What? Which one?
808s.
Bro, it is controversial. Bro, his best one is his first one. Like, if someone could try to talk to me about the second one, but his first one was his best one.
It's either his first one or 808s. I mean, I could see an argument for Graduation too.
But anything past those, like he's had some like songs like the one that was like, and the one that everyone likes to make it basketball. I mean, that's like, I forgot how the song goes. It's like, Father, stretch my hands like beautiful morning. Oh, they put that to every like basketball AMV. It'll be like, guess who this is? And they'll get shot.
Yeah, the life of Pablo as a whole is not that good.
No, I never listened to it. He was already dead to me at that point. I was like, nah, this man's his brain is fried.
Oh yeah. Bro, he was going crazy all the way through Chick-fil-A. No, what with the
Yeah,
bro was just doing anything.
I promise you, I did not listen to like any of that. Like I was like, nah.
Him and Elon about to get together and make that do Optimus Prime robots that Elon's making. They're about to,
Elon
like-
would like him, but he wouldn't. Hey, bro, if I would give Elon any advice, I would be like, dog, leave that man alone. He is nuts.
yeah.
Yeah,
I was
him
gonna
and
say
his.
they got me.
He found that wife who was equally as nuts.
Elon's got some issues. But anyways,
Yo.
Tales of Arise.
Yo, okay, so I play that game, bro. So obviously it's a lot like Symphonia, but better graphically. The story was really good. I think that's one thing that got me. Was the story was good. The gameplay was really good too for the first like 3 hours. And then this thing happens called past 3 hours. And I mean, I played it on the toughest difficulty, but you really didn't have to. In hindsight, see, here's the thing. Here's where I rely on games. I was thinking about this while I was playing it. Tough difficulty is a tough thing to balance. I will always choose the tough difficulty if it means that the AI is better. Because what I learned from the Diablo series, tough difficulty there just means that everything is tankier. So the AI doesn't get any tougher. But imagine you're playing Mario Bros. 1 and you were like, man, I wish this game was tougher. And so they amped it up. They're like, hey, it's going to be tougher. But this time it takes 50 stomps to kill a Goomba.
Wait, you mean tougher? Do you mean tougher? Or do you mean stronger, better, faster?
Yep, that's how long I've been on that. But it'd be like if they were like, hey, let's make this game tougher by making it where you have to where you have to stomp on the Goomba 50 times in order for him to die. Well, yeah, technically that makes the game tougher, but it didn't make the enemy any more difficult. It just made the game more annoying and grindier.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how I felt. Like with this game to a degree, was that because it was tougher. Well, they did this thing where you get more stats if you're on the tougher level.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it was worth it because if you go down, now you kill the enemies faster, but you have to kill them a ton more. So I'd rather just fight the battle. I'd rather just fight one battle. Because I didn't really. That was a good thing about this game is that normally in RPGs I overgrind. But in this game, I didn't have to like overgrind. I just like would go through the area, kill every enemy I saw, and then fight the boss, and I was like leveled adequately. Versus like in other games, I'd have to like leave that area, come back, let them respawn, leave it, respawn, leave it. But I never had to do that in this game.
Yeah.
Except here's the thing. Okay, if I had a complaint.
I got a question for you when you're done with your rant.
Okay, here's my other thing. Okay, if I had to complain about one thing about Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, which I guess we still have to talk on that, but it would be this is first world problem that there's not a much enemy variety. Like, yeah, it's cool because the enemies themselves can have different weapons, so technically it's enemy variety.
Right.
But the problem in this game, there are like 6 different types of enemies in a 150-hour game or whatever. There's like 6. So, and then it does that typical RPG thing where you're in the new world and the enemies are tougher because it's a red one as opposed to a yellow one.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, the enemy is exactly the same, just different. It's just doing different, like, I don't know, like if it did fire before, now it's doing water. In this world, it does grass. Like, okay, like, yeah. That's not interesting.
Bruh.
But I gotta say, like the story was good because it tried. Like, I mean, stop me if you've heard this before. An RPG that's about racism and about everyone like putting aside their differences to be as one. Like,
Oh, you don't
I
say.
mean, yeah, that's the most original RPG. That's the most original JRPG you've ever heard of before, right? You know what I mean?
Battle God at the end too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yo, bags, man. That's exactly what you do. How did you know? Okay.
I think, bro. I think at this point they just need to stick with it, man. Just you know, just own it, man. Just
Like, yeah, man. Why is that a thing? Like
well, I
every
mean,
time.
philosophically, you know, it makes sense because you can't really have a bigger enemy than that, a more difficult enemy.
But here's the thing too: is that whenever you do that, it means you definitely can never get a sequel. Because I mean, that's where this game got weird. Is that you're fighting Black Sephiroth. Well, I mean, he's not African American or African, whatever, but he's in. I guess he's already. You're fighting black hair Sephiroth, okay?
He's not the Denzel Washington version of Dormammu.
Yeah. Dormammu. Remember the first one? He's like, Dormammu. Thank you, Dormammu.
Somebody's got to take his Marvel 3 like voice lines and like dub Denzel over them like in his typical lines that he says in his movie.
Well, like, so you have to fight black hair Sephiroth. And he does all this stuff. He kind of has this cool intro, and then you beat him. I was like, "Well, I beat the game." In the game, that was only part one. And then it introduced you to part two, and part two is nothing but backtracking and going to, before you go into like this village world. I mean, you go into like this castle world, the ice world. In part two, you go to bland, all gray world. And you then go to all bland gray world again, and then it's like you go into the world where the life has been sucked out of everything. If you can guess what color this world, wow, you said bland gray, yes. So the second part of the game was struggling. Yeah. I mean, it was also a bunch of like fetch quests. It was like, hey, can you go beat this enemy? Can you go? I mean, I just did it because it was fun, but I mean, there was nothing. Like, you didn't really get anything. Like, also, there's 44 fish in the game. I call all 44 fish. And you want to know what cool prize they gave you? They gave you a fishing rod that allowed you to catch the fish better. But, bro, the game is over, and I've caught them all. Why would I? And you've already gotten the special lure that lets you catch each fish. So this rod that they gave you is useless. So they might as well give me the golden poop from Zelda. Like, it did nothing. Thinking, bro. Yeah, it was. It was dumb.
Side note: if you ever want to like go down the Google rabbit trail, you look up the Sephiroth tree, and it's a Jewish. It's a Jewish. It's a medieval Jewish mystical thing that you can look up, and then you'll recognize it immediately from Full Metal
Attack on Titan. Oh yeah,
Full Metal Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I was gonna say, don't even get the people online started about anything Jewish. They'll go all about, oh, they ruled the world. They did everything. Is like, my guys.
Who ran the world?
Okay.
Who ran the world? Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So I would say this. The reason I liked it, the character's good, and like typical Tales, like every time they're doing something, they're talking nonstop. Like you'd be surprised at how much dialogue is in this game. Like, if you okay, one of the guys is wearing glasses. Like, I just gave him sunglasses just because it was funny. And then when you're at the camp, one of your main characters is like, Dolim, it's nighttime, right? And he goes, yes. He goes, so why are you wearing? And the other girl's just like, just leave it be. It's like, it's like stuff like that. Where I was like, wow, like if I had never put sunglasses on them, they wouldn't have said that. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
it's just random. So they do a lot of talking in this game. It's really good. Like you really feel connected to the characters. But I also feel like this game would have been better served as an anime, just straight up. Man,
Yeah.
because there wouldn't have been the grindy bits at the end. Yep. I don't
But
know
how
if
do you
that's
feel
enough
about
Diddy,
it?
but
Like,
yep.
if you were to put a number to it?
Yeah, if I was gonna put a number to it, bro, I would say the story. I would probably say it's probably my favorite story in a game I've played behind Witcher 3 and Baldur's Gate 3 so far. But gameplay wise, like the gameplay, okay, so it has the same problems that Tears of the Kingdom has, which we were talking about. Is that you're gonna find that one thing that you have 50 billion things you can do.
Right.
But you're gonna find that one thing that works and you're just gonna rely on it the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
they gave you all these moves, but you found the moves that worked, and you're just gonna use those moves and to the rest of the game, essentially.
Facts.
So yeah, I had fun. So if I had to give it a ranking, I would give it an 8. Even though giving an 8, I would say the story, I liked it. The characters, I love the characters. Like probably like my favorite characters in the game. Like I'm not even lying, like they were good.
Oh.
Like in a game, probably, yeah. But gameplay wise, it was just like if someone told me that they didn't like the gameplay, I would be like, I can see that. If someone told me that they loved the gameplay, I would say I can see that.
Yeah. But you liked
Like,
it.
but yeah, but like Zay and Wave quit the game, but like I said, when they quit it, I can 100,000% see why.
Yeah.
Because like the game gets worse from the part that they were at. Like it just does.
Yeah.
Like, and if I had quit it there too, I don't know if I would have ever had the motivation to ever start the game back up again.
But now that you've done it, bro, I have this theory about like you sink a certain amount of time into something, and then like if it's like a certain point, if you sink a certain amount of time into something, then you can't like not like it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like JRPGs, like every one that I've done, I just like they're like I just look back at it and I'm like that was awesome. They're like I just
But
like it.
but it's also tough too because okay, two games in particular I've had this problem with is like The Witcher 3 and this game, where
Yeah.
it comes to a point where I'm like, I don't know if I'm really having fun with this game. And I've thought the same thing with Breath of the Wild too. And Tears of the Kingdom actually, where I was like, I don't know if I'm necessarily having fun with this game. But then you look, you put in 300 hours or like 200 hours, and you're like, well, I like, you know what I mean? It's like it's kind of tough to justify not liking it if you put it took like hour 200 something to realize that. You know
But
what I'm
you read,
saying?
yeah, I know. But you read like a 500 something page or more book or like a long manga series, like really long, and you're always gonna have like a piece of your heart for it, you know?
That's all. I mean, that's exactly how I feel about Naruto. Like,
Yeah, right, right.
probably no series more than Naruto. Where like, I kind of feel that way. I know we talk about Dragon Ball, but I kind of feel the same way for it too. It's like the thing that hooked me on both those series no longer exists. So it almost makes me hate those series. Kind of like with like Psych and Flash and Arrow. It was like with Naruto, it was like, man, there's so many powers. Like everyone has their thing. Like everyone could win. Like you don't know which clan's the best, which village. But then the more that series goes on, they're like, nah, none of those other villages matter. It's only this village. None of those other, it's like I lost everything that I liked about it. 'Cause there's no mystery. It's like you can't even debate. Like before, I could debate with you. Like Rock Lee is better than Sasuke, or like Rock Lee is better. You know, you can have a debate. Like pick a character, I can debate why. But now there's like no debate. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing to argue about. Like nah, it's and the same thing goes with like Dragon Ball Z for me. Like as I was watching it, it was like I don't know. Like maybe Goku could win, but maybe Vegeta could take him, or maybe like Piccolo might come back. Like maybe Gohan's in. But by the end of the series, it was clear that no matter what came, Goku was always going to be the best, and Vegeta was always going to be like the person used to show how strong the villain was. So it was like, okay.
Bro. And you saw what they just come out with the Dragon Ball Daima.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where they made Goku like, bro. Yeah, tell me if you heard this before. It starts after Dragon Ball Z ends, and they made Goku a kid again, and he goes on adventures. Like, bro,
Yo,
that's literally GT.
yo, okay. The problem is you can see that with Akira Toriyama, that's what he likes, and that's what
Yeah,
he wanted to make. Is that he wanted to make an Astro Boy.
yeah. But is he?
But
Do we know if he did he make this series before he died? Diamond was.
yes, to a degree, I would put an asterisk to it. It seemed like he greenlit that, but we don't know. Because okay, even if you look at like the stuff he drew for Dragon Quest, it was all Dragon Ball. It wasn't really Dragon Ball
Yeah,
Z. So you can tell that that's his baseline artwork that he
yeah,
likes. Is that
yeah.
is like that more One Piece, Astro Boy type style, like random dinosaur character here, random bear
Yeah,
character or pig.
robot.
That's yeah, that's like his base that he likes to do.
Right. I
So I
mean, that's the
think,
same in all, even in what's what Chrono Trigger.
yeah, like that's what he likes to do, and like I think that was going back to the base of what he was doing. But of course, the majority of his fans like the Z style. Like that's what they're all about. Is that they like Macho Man versus Macho Man, mano y mano. Like who's tougher?
Oh
Like
yeah.
there's no room for women except for the women all four team apparently. That's about it.
Insert the Jimmy Neutron clip.
Women.
Women.
Like that's so I just don't know if that series like I don't know how well it would do because the audience that is interested in that is not the Dragon Ball Z audience.
Bro, I don't know, but they're pretty smart for putting it like releasing today, like in alongside Sparking Zero.
Yeah, like
'Cause everybody's already talking about Dragon Ball.
I I don't really get it. Like I know the audience is very casual,
Yeah.
but I'm like, y'all, why do we live in a world where the only fighting games we can get that the anime people like is Budokai or Ninja Storm? Like, guys, why must we live in a world where it's Budokai or Ninja Storm?
Bro, because everybody wants to feel like they have a chance. And in those games, you do, even if you're a scrub.
Yeah, but the thing I hate about those games, like we talked about, is that it's like canon to who's the strongest. Like, bro, how does
Yep.
that make the game fun?
God, I hate that so much. Everybody online is Ultra Instinct Goku or Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta.
I know, but it's like, one, why are those characters in the game like that more powerful? But two, they need to have an online mode that makes sense, where it just like everybody has the same health bar. Like in a ranked version, like there should be that casual version where it can be like that. But in a ranked version, Mr. Satan should have the same health bar as Gogeta 4. Like, come on.
Oh, they gotta appeal to the kids who just want to pick the most powerful thing and just like go on there. And, like that's all my son cares about. He's like, he's got a little figurine. I don't even know how he get it, bro. This is the thing about little boys, like, you know, and going to like when they're going to school and like what I'm remembering from when we were younger, like this like he goes to school and comes home. He's got his little Kid Buu figurine. I'm like, bro, Julie, where'd you get that from? He's like, I don't know. I was like, what? Tell me you didn't trade more of your stuff for that. Like some, mom or dad is gonna be mad at me for you taking their stuff. And then he's like, no, somebody, it's just in my desk. It just appeared in my desk. I'm like, uh-huh, sure. But anyways, it's a Kid Buu figurine. He's like, when am I gonna see him? And then I'm like, bro, you're just at the very beginning of the Buu arc. You gotta wait, man. He's like, no, I want to get to Super Saiyan God and Ultra Instinct and all that. And Dad, you never even seen Ultra Instinct. You don't even know the strongest one. Like my friend at school. I'm like, oh my gosh. Let's watch the episodes, man. Let's get there in time. You know what? To skip to the end. So like, it's like all about who's just, like getting to that moment, the strongest one, so you can talk on the playground about it.
That's all Twitter is. That's why I can't stand it. It's just about it's like who's the strongest. I'm like, bro. I was driving. I was thinking that the other day. I was like, it makes me so mad that all the anime discourse is about Gojo is stronger than Goku. No, he's not. It's like, bro, who cares? They're not in the same. Like, bro, the boringest argument ever is cross series like fights to me. Like that is boring.
Yep.
Like in series fights are cool if they can happen, but not if the series is over and it's like clearly determined who can beat who, which is like I said, is when it becomes boring to me.
Yeah, the only way I could see it even being done is the way that Death Battle does. It's like take it to ridiculous. Like take the like actual like physical feats they've done in the shows and like measure them,
Yeah,
against each other. I mean, yeah, it's just stupid, but
yeah, I mean, it's like, but even that people get mad, but it's like, bro, it's like, because for example, take a show like One Piece. If someone gets cut by a sword in One Piece, they're not dead. Okay, they're just sliced. Okay, but
Kingdom, they're dead, man.
Yeah, or just like almost like in a show like Naruto, like Kakashi died from a nail. Okay, he died from a nail to his head, but then he was brought back because yes. But my point being, so someone could be like, "Nah, Luffy survived a sword slash," but it's like, bro, it's like you'd have to take the world that they're in because like the average person can survive a sword slash unless they're like in what do you call a flashback, like Nami's mom died to a gunshot, but that's only because she's in a flashback. So
yeah,
then,
if you take like Gear 5, like it just throws all logic out the window.
But yeah, it's just like it's like in the context of each person's world, you have to like set what the reality even is. So you can't just be like, oh, this person, because like what person in real life can take like 10, 15 punches anyways? Like, bro, we'd be gone. So that's every anime. So, they'd be like, no, he took a sword slasher, he took a gunshot, and he took. It's like, bro.
Yeah.
It was like, come on, dog.
Yeah, what other shows in anime have you watched or games have you played or shows have you watched since we?
Okay, so I've been watching Code Geass. I haven't finished it. That show is confusing because I watched the first couple episodes. I was like, I hate this, and then I got to the middle. I was like, oh man, that twist was so good. I love this. Then I got near the end, and I was like, I kind of hate this. And then I was like watching a little more, and I was like, I'm kind of indifferent. And so that's where I stopped, because I've been so busy like doing other stuff. And so I really don't know what I think about that Code Geass show. My problem with the show, have you ever seen the movie The Muppets Most Wanted?
Oh man, I feel
It's
like
the one with Kermit, where everybody everyone has the memes of Kermit. That's where the memes of Kermit comes from with the dark side version.
No, I don't think I've seen that one.
Well, the opening song goes, "We're doing a sequel." It's like we're gonna do it all again, and that's what Code Geass. This one is that they're taking is trying to be a best hits. They're trying to do all the stuff that you liked from the originals, but just like Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and other stuff, even if it's technically better, is it better if it gives you no shock value because you've seen it before? And so that's where this one
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, except Tears of the Kingdom is an exact example that's weird. Like people have that argument too. Matter of fact, I saw the other day where someone was like, Tears of the Kingdom is better than every way than Breath of the Wild. But some people say Breath of the Wild is better. But I mean that's the same thing, is that Tears of the Kingdom is 100,000 times better than Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
But it's easy to see why someone might like Breath of the Wild better than Tears of the Kingdom because it did it all first.
Hey, ain't nothing like the first time.
And so, yeah, like speaking of Tears of the Kingdom, like that was what I was gonna say with that game. That I liked Tears of the Kingdom, but I only played Breath of the Wild once. I feel like if I had played Breath of the Wild more than once, I don't think I would have liked Tears of the Kingdom like at all. So like the switch, I mean, Breath of the Wild came out like what 6, 7 years ago, 8 years ago. Well, I'd only played that game.
Gracious, when we getting the Switch too, man.
So I had only played Breath of the Wild in like what the year 2016. Yeah, 2017. So I only played it in 2017.
Yeah.
So and then this one came out in 2023. So it had been like some years since I had played it, and so I didn't know every place by heart. So to me, dude, what's that effect where you can look at something they're similar and you like get them confused?
Yeah, the Mandela effect.
Yeah, it was like that with me. Like if you told me that something was different, I wouldn't have been able to tell just because like it had been so long. Like so, I kind of liked Tears of the Kingdom because it was what my brain remembered Breath of the Wild being. Like, oh yeah, I have to look for this. But the problem I have with Tears of the Kingdom, which a lot of people had too, is you can blame it on me too. Blame it on the
I was about to say the same thing.
Blame it on me. Oopsie. Well, is that I found out I saw the motorcycle bike. The motorcycle bike broke the game. The you know what I'm talking about? The hover bike.
And then you had to use it.
Yo, the hover, like after you find out the hover bike, you never use anything else ever again. Cause it's busted. It's like the best thing. So I wanted to use it because I was like, everyone's using this, and then once I did it, I like never used anything else ever again because it just made everything easier. Like every puzzle you found, it could just be solved by using that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that was my problem with Tears of the Kingdom was that I didn't really like the building stuff. Like that stuff was cool, but I mean, I don't care about Minecraft. So I never wanted to build. I wanted to be as lazy as possible. And every time you got to a new place, like on the underground place, they would always give you like a new like thing to build with. But I didn't care about that. I already had that air bike, so
yeah. For the people that do care about that, I'm sure it's like a lot better.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like that game is like it was my fear before playing the game, and it was kind of true. That game was like, here you guys go. I'm gonna give you a pencil and a paper, and with a pencil and a paper, Van Gogh and everybody else who's creative could just make like anything. But for me, I'm just gonna make a stick man, and that's all I can think of is a stick man. You know what I mean? So it's like that's what that game was. Is that they gave me a pencil and paper, and they tried to give you some pre-designed stuff, but my brain still is just like stick man.
Yeah, facts, bro.
So,
That's how I feel about it too. I'm
so,
like, what is this?
so, yeah. So I would like. So when we first got the game, I was trying to make some stuff, and I was like, okay, this is cool. But then it couldn't do anything because it was like so bad, or I had to
Yeah,
have.
yeah,
And then I would look online. I was like, let me just look, and I would see like the craziest stuff ever. I
yeah.
was like, wow, I'd have never thought of that in a billion years. And then
I mean,
I saw the hover floating bike, and I was like, oh, that looks cool. And then once you build that, you just never want to build anything else.
it reminds me of that show where they used to have they had two teams go to the junkyard and just threw a bunch of stuff in
You
there.
talking
They're
about
like,
Junkyard
yeah,
Wars?
junkyard boys.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what that game feels like. They're like here, here, build a rocket. I'm like, bro, you get me a
yo,
couple boards and like a
yo.
fan. Like, what you
That's exactly what I'm thinking. You know what? I like BattleBots, and then they put on Junkyard Wars, and like I couldn't appreciate it because I'm just like,
huh?
how can
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
It gives
yeah.
me anxiety. I'm just like, what are we supposed to make with this? Like, I have no clue what they can make. This is just junk. Like,
Bro, my uncle got he was like a real like yeah, that's the type of dude. He's got like the handlebar mustache. He's got like the mustache that goes down his neck, you know. Or at least he used to. And he like loved like Orange County Choppers. Like thought he was like a biker type dude, and he loved like mechanical stuff. So he would always cut that on for me over there. Like this is awesome. Like I don't understand what the carburetor and the like whatever. Like I'm like what is going on? I mean, it was cool just because of like they said junkyard wars.
that's all I remember too. Yo, I love BattleBots. I was down for BattleBots, but Junkyard Wars, man, it didn't get.
I mean, I like junkyard wars. It's just like I didn't understand all the time how
Yo,
why
that's what I'm
this.
saying. I didn't understand. I was just like, okay, like, BattleBots. That was to me that was cool. Like, that's like peak
Oh yeah,
nerdiness, but I thought BattleBots was
that
cool.
was sick. Now I forget Elon's looking back and laughing. He's like, look at these puny machines.
Yo, he needs to sponsor some BattleBots. Yo, man, that would be cool. Some Tesla bots. They're
Bro, he would
flying.
have actual freaking like humanoid
Yeah, he's
robots
got
punching each other, bro.
the huge. He's got the Hugh Jack. What was the Hugh Jackman movie called where he did the robots that fight?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
Oh,
know
that
what I'm
was
talking about?
stupid movie. It was like Rock'em Sock'em Robot type movie.
Yeah.
That was the stupidest movie ever.
Yeah,
Like,
I never watched. I just remember he had some kid. It was, it was essentially Punch Out because that kid he
that's
had
what I
like
was,
that tiny robot and it had to go against him.
yo, I just
Except,
thought like bro, I just thought like when I saw the advertisement for that movie, I just thought, bro, they really went with this one when they have all these other like great film ideas come across their desk. And this